Following up on the previous tutorial in which we saw the power rule for differentiation, as well as several of the rules we need to differentiate functions like this one which consists of several terms, I just wanted to spend a few minutes to remind us of what the derivative function actually is and what it allows us to do. And for that we'll work through two quick examples, the first of which is the one we can see on the screen here. We're told, given f of x equals to x cubed minus 3x squared minus 4x plus 5, find the gradient of y equals to f of x, so that's this function's graph, when, first of all, when x equals to 2, and then when x equals to negative 1. Okay, so let me go ahead and write SOL for solution. Now, put simply, given a function like this one, as soon as we read the word gradient or slope, we need to be thinking of the function's derivative function. In other words, given a question like this, the first thing we're going to need to do here is to find f dash of x. Remember, f dash of x, the derivative of f, can also be called the gradient function. And that's because this guy's job is quite literally to give us this function's gradient at any point along its curve's length. So let's go for it. This is equal to the derivative of x cubed, which will be 3x squared, minus 3 times the derivative of x squared. So I can already write minus 3 times the derivative of x squared, which, remember, using the power rule becomes 2 times x to the power of 2 minus 1. So that's just 2 times x to the power of 1 minus 4 times the derivative of x, and we had seen that the derivative of x is just equal to 1, so I'll go ahead and write that. That's minus 4 times 1 plus the derivative of 5, which we had seen is equal to 0. Remember, as soon as we differentiate a number like this one which doesn't have an x, its derivative will always equal to 0. And so tidying all of this up a bit, we can go ahead and state that the derivative function f dash or f prime of x is equal to 3x squared minus 3 times 2, which is 6, times x to the power of 1, so that's minus 6 times x, and we take away from that, so that's minus 4 times 1, which is just 4. And we don't bother writing the plus 0 at the end here. Okay, and in an exam, I'd go ahead and box that result. We've now found the derivative function. Now, to find the gradient of y equals to f of x at either of these two x values, all we need to do is use the derivative function we just found and replace all the x's we see inside it by x equals to 2 and then by x equals to negative 1. So let's go ahead. I'll answer question A right here. When x equals to 2, the derivative will be f dash evaluated at 2, or simply f dash of 2, which is equal to 3 times 2 squared minus 6 times 2 minus 4. Again, all I've done here is copy the expression I have for the derivative and replace every single x I could see by 2. Now, of course, if you have a calculator, you can just go ahead and calculate this directly, or we could do this by hand. Now, 2 squared is 4, so this becomes 3 times 4, which is 12, so we have 12 minus 6 times 2, which is 12 again, minus the 4 that we have at the end there. Now, going from left to right, we have 12 minus 12, which is 0 minus 4. So we can state that the derivative at 2, f dash of 2, is equal to negative 4. And that's the answer. This result tells us that the gradient, and in fact I'll write it, the gradient of the curve, so gradient of y equals to f of x, is negative 4 when x equals to 2, when x equals to 2. Okay, now to answer question B, remember we had to find the gradient of the curve when x equals to negative 1. The method is the same, so I'll just write B here when x equals to negative 1. All we have to do here is use the derivative function again, but this time we'll replace every single x we see by negative 1. In other words, the gradient of the curve at the point along its length with x-coordinate negative 1 will equal to f dash of negative 1, which is equal to 3 times negative 1 squared minus 6 times negative 1 minus 4. Now, negative 1 in parentheses squared is just 1, so we have 3 times 1, which is just 3, minus 6 times negative 1, which is negative 6, minus 4. And now 3 minus negative 6 turns into 3 plus 6, which is 9. So that's equal to 9 minus 4. And finally, 9 minus 4 is 5. So we can go ahead and state that f dash of negative 1 is equal to 5. And we're done. The 5 we have here is the gradient of y equals to f of x at the point along the curve's length, whose x-coordinate is -1. And on the side here, I'll quickly write gradient is 5. And we can picture these gradients of -4 and 5 with a quick sketch of the function's curve. And you can go ahead and check with your calculator, but if we were to plot the curve y equals to f of x, where f of x equals to x cubed minus 3x squared minus 4x plus 5, well, it would look something like this. I'll quickly draw an x-axis here. There we go, so that's x, that's y. Again, you can check with your calculator, but the point along this curve whose x-coordinate is 2 would be roughly here. And so at that point, the curve's gradient is equal to the gradient of the tangent to the curve at that point, which would look something like this. So that line's gradient, and I'll just write gradient, is the -4 we found. So I'll just write -4. There we go. That corresponds to the result we found here. So that's the point along the curve whose x-coordinate is 2. Similarly, when x equals to -1, well, again, you could go ahead and check, but we'd be roughly here on the curve. So that's this point up here. And again, to picture the gradient of the curve at this point, we'd consider the tangent to the curve at that point, which would look something like this. And the result 5 that we're getting here tells us that the gradient of this line is 5. And so I'll quickly write that here as well. The gradient is equal to 5. There, that's what these two results are telling us. Okay, now alongside wanting to illustrate the two results we just found, another reason for making the sketch we have up here is for me to remind you of an important fact. Although we'll frequently speak of the gradient of a curve, indeed we'll often be asked to find the gradient of y equals to f of x at various points along its length, the fact of the matter is, by definition, a curve doesn't have a gradient. Indeed, the only things that have gradients are straight lines. And the reason why that's important is because when we're asked to find the gradient of a curve, what we're really being asked for is to find the gradient of the tangent to the curve at the various values of x we may be given. Now, don't let that confuse you too much. We'll still be speaking of the gradient of a curve. Indeed, it's a quote-unquote mistake, which is accepted by everyone. We'll loosely speak of the gradient of a curve. And so what matters here is for you to understand that whether we're asked for the gradient of a curve or the gradient of the tangent to the curve, it means exactly the same thing. And the way we'll find that gradient is identical. Again, we'll use the derivative function. And so to illustrate that fact, let me quickly move on to example 2, in which we'll be asked to find the gradient of a tangent to the curve. And so for that, let me move to the second page. And here it is. We're told, given y equals to x squared plus 64 over x, find the gradient of the tangent to this curve at the point along its length with x-coordinate x equals to 4. Okay, well, following what we just said, the gradient of the tangent to the curve is given to us by the curve's derivative, or by the function's derivative. So in fact, answering this question is no different than answering the first example we had. Remember, whether we're asked to find the gradient of the tangent or the gradient of the curve, it means exactly the same thing. So let's go ahead. Since we're given this curve's equation in this format, I'll go ahead and use the dy dx notation. Now, looking at this curve's equation, notice here that we have an x on the denominator. And so the first thing I'll do here is rewrite this equation in such a way that that 64 over x, which I'm copying now, appears as a power of x. And we had seen this in the previous tutorial, but let me quickly remind you that if ever we have a over x to the power of n, then we can rewrite that as a times x to the power of negative n. Indeed, that's a really important result you want to make sure you keep in mind. So using this result, this 64 over x, which is the same thing as 64 over x to the power of 1, can be rewritten as 64 times x to the power of negative 1. In other words, this curve's equation is the same as y equals to x squared plus 64 times x to the power of negative 1. Okay, now that that's out of the way, we're ready to differentiate using the power rule for differentiation. And here, since we were given the equation in terms of y and not f of x, I'll go ahead and use the dy dx notation for the derivative, but if you prefer, you can use f dash of x. It makes no difference at all. So differentiating this, we can state that dy dx is equal to the derivative of x squared, which will be 2 times x to the power of 1, so simply 2x, plus 64 times the derivative of x to the power of negative 1. So that's 64 times negative 1 times x to the power of negative 1 minus 1, which is negative 2. Now, 64 times negative 1 is negative 64, so this turns into dy dx is equal to 2x minus 64 times x to the power of negative 2. And although we could stop at this result, and in fact, if you're allowed to use a calculator, I would say do stop here. But if you have to do calculations by hand, then I find it's much more practical to rewrite this negative power of x as a fraction. And so I'll do that up here, and I'll go ahead and state that the derivative dy dx is equal to 2x minus 64 over x squared. And in fact, I'll box that result. There we go. Okay, now that we have this function's derivative, to find the gradient of the tangent to the curve at the point along its length, whose x-coordinate is x equals to 4, all we have to do is evaluate this derivative at x equals to 4. In other words, we simply need to replace the x's we have here by 4. So let's go ahead. This derivative evaluated at 4, which we can write like this, dy dx, with a vertical bar here, and x equals to 4 at the bottom, is equal to 2 times 4 minus 64 over 4 squared, where all I've done here is replace the x's I have inside the derivative by 4. Now 2 times 4 is 8, so that's 8 minus 64 over 4 squared, and since 4 squared is 16, that's 64 over 16, and 64 divided by 16, well, that's equal to 4, so this becomes 8 minus 4. Finally, the derivative evaluated at x equals to 4, so dy dx x equals to 4, is equal to 4. And that's the answer. The 4 we just obtained is the gradient of the tangent to this curve at the point along its length, whose x-coordinate is 4. And so as a final result, I could simply state gradient is equal to 4. And we're done. So remember, whether we're asked to find the gradient of a curve or the gradient of a tangent to the curve, those two things mean the same thing, and the method is identical. We find the derivative and we evaluate that derivative at the relevant value of x. And there we go. That's it for this tutorial.